good to see you, and I am here with Jane Fraser. Thank you for taking the time today. Good to have you.
Great to see you, Sarah.
Before we get into the whole world, I sort of wanted to rip up the script and start with Warren Buffett, because he was a shareholder, bought your stock in 2022. He sold a lot of the positions, including in the banks, but I know you've spent time with him. You've been at the shareholder meeting, and I was wondering how you were processing the news.
Yeah. Look, in a world where everyone's talking about AI, tariffs, various other pieces, but particularly AI, Warren reminds you that there is nothing artificial about wisdom. And I think it's a good thing for us all to remember. Always looking at long term, thinking about the wisdom.
Well, I know,
will be missed.
And I know that you got to spend some time and probably will. Look, Jane, I'm curious how the change after the tariffs is impacting your business and the way you view the outlook. How drastic of a change is it?
Look, we are having a lot of things coming at the world at the moment, hard and fast, in terms of announcements and changes. But it's actually going to play out quite slowly. And we heard a bit of this from Secretary Bessent, as you did this morning. If we think about breaking it down, the first piece we're seeing is just the pull forward of spending by some corporates with their inventories and also by the consumer. And we saw that in April. The data in April was pretty robust on those fronts. Then we'll have a second wave, and that is going to come from the fact that a lot of companies are in a wait-and-see mode. There is still activity, but things, investment spending, some of the hiring plans, some of those have slowed down or are on pause, and that will have an impact on demand. And then we will have the actual impact of the tariffs themselves, which will come through either in terms of price impact and some potential shocks there, as well as the actual supply. And we don't know yet whether that's going to be 10% tariff, 25% tariff, or even higher, as we've seen in the case of China. And there are very different corporate decisions. If it's 10%, you can absorb it. If it's 25% or higher, it's a different set of dynamics, and we just don't know yet how that will play out.
Has it changed any decision-making from you? You're the biggest global bank of the U.S. banks. I know you have a business in China, for instance, in Mexico, and a lot of these places that have been targeted. So are you doing anything differently, and what are you hearing about what they're doing?
Yeah, we're not doing anything differently. We're really seeing an enormous amount of engagement with our clients around the world, and that is foreign ministers and finance ministers in government, so Turkey or Morocco or Egypt, are saying, what does this mean for us, and reaching out for advice, as well as the corporate sector. And I think, remember, corporates, they're in a wait-and-see mode to some degree at the moment. They are focused around prepping for headwinds, but CEOs look at the long term. And they're thinking about what are the potential structural changes, what does it mean for their strategy, what does it mean for their supply chain configurations. So I look at it in two parts: prepping for headwinds, and then what does it mean for their strategic advice, hedging and financing strategies, and most critically, supply chain.